Voters will decide whether abortion rights should be included in the state's constitution.
The Michigan Supreme Court ordered the Board of State Canvassers to certify the question for the November ballot, a week after the same body split on the measure, putting the initiative in limbo.
News 8's Joe LaFurgey has more from Lansing.
There was never any doubt in my mind that once the court spoke, what we were going to do, and that's follow what they have requested of us.
And with that, the debate ended, and the Board of State Canvassers voted to put an amendment to the state constitution guaranteeing abortion rights on the November ballot.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion carries 4-0.
A lack of spacing between words on the nominating petition caused the controversy. Critics of Reproductive Freedom for All's ballot measure cried foul, claiming the jumble of words may have confused those who signed the petition. Supporters argued that the more than 600,000 who did sign it did in fact know what it was all about. But the Board of Canvassers, 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats, deadlocked on the issue at a certification vote last week, putting the ballot question in limbo. Yesterday, the state Supreme Court sided with supporters, ordering state canvassers to certify the ballot to include the abortion rights question.
But when the court speaks, it's our duty to follow that.
Critics accused the 2 Republicans on the Board of Canvassers of playing politics with last week's vote. But when the Republican chair of the Board of State Canvassers was asked if justices on the Supreme Court were playing politics, the answer was no.
I don't think that helps with the climate of our politics.
While he voted no on certification last week, Don says he has no reason to believe the Democrat majority on the Supreme Court let politics influence their decision to overturn the BOC vote. His concern, other politicians who feed into the narrative, as he puts it, that either the BOC vote or Supreme Court ruling were partisans.
I don't think it helps with attracting good people who may have genuine disagreement about these issues into the fold, and then you're left with some of the more irresponsible types that we see taking over both parties these days.
Board of Canvassers also voting yes on the ballot measure known as Promote the Vote, which will expand voters' rights after the Supreme Court ordered them to certify it after a deadlock last week as well. In Lansing, Joe LaFurgey, News 8.
Citizens to support Michigan women and children sent us a statement reacting to today's certification vote, saying in part, Proposal 3 will now be defeated by voters as they learn about the many extreme consequences this abortion amendment would have on women.